Well. What an interesting sprint race and qualifying session we had today. Now, I, like most Formula One fans, or for the most part, the people I see on the internet, the popular opinion is that I don't love the sprint races. I think that they are kind of boring at times, but today's was certainly interesting and important for championship points, obviously. So for those of you who don't know or haven't checked the results or haven't watched it, Max won the sprint race. He qualified on pole and won from pole, but both McLarens DNF'd. There was an incident on the first lap, turn one, kind of, where Alonso went side by side with Hulkenberg, and Piastri was attempting to overtake Norris because they had both had a very good start, and Norris overtook Piastri. No, Piastri overtook Norris, then Norris gained the position back, then Piastri in turn one, I believe, tried to take the position back, was squeezed by Hulkenberg, who was squeezed by Alonso, Hulkenberg hit Piastri, who hit Norris, who spun out and then hit Alonso, meaning Alonso, Norris, and Piastri were out of the race, not Hulkenberg, who lost his front wing, pitted, got a new front wing, then continued the race and ended up 15th with no points to score. But, he still stayed in it. It was so close to him having, a podium for him. But, yeah, it was certainly interesting to watch, especially given the fact that my dad is a Piastri fan and was clearly very upset at that. He wanted Max to be also taken out in that spin, and if Piastri had stayed in, he would have been much more pleased than he was. But I'm a self-proclaimed Verstappen. Good for me. Good for the championship charge, which the more I say it, the more delusional I get, the more real the chance is becoming. I mean, still 8 points on Lando. If something happens in this Grand Prix tomorrow, or later tonight, I'm watching it tomorrow, so it doesn't matter, I'll make a review. That could be very, very interesting. He'll be only less, I think it's 10 points away, if, Lando doesn't score any points. Maybe? Yeah. But really, he needs, 2 Grand Prix wins and a sprint win, and he's very, very, very solidly in the running. But yeah, it was an interesting sprint race. Other than that, safety car, there was some incidents. There was George trying to go take a move on Verstappen, who he was really close to, but missed the apex of the corner, I guess, and pushed both of them off the track. The stewards investigated it, got nothing, because it was a nothing move, but he did get track limits and then complained about it, which he went fully off. The track limits definitely count there. If you're fully off, you're fully off. There's no arguing which way about it. But he didn't gain an advantage, so it didn't mean anything. Then Verstappen pulled away in a whole lap. I think he gained at least over a second in a full lap. It was crazy. If you can't tell, I'm a Max Glazer for life. Don't criticize me. But there was the Antonelli and Behrman on again, off again sort of incident. Behrman ended up with a 10-second penalty to serve after the race. And then there was Lance Stroll doing a Lance Stroll. I don't know if his name's pronounced Lance or Lance. I use both. But yeah, Lance Stroll special. Straight into Esteban Ocon. Now I know that it really wasn't his fault. He locked up, and neither of them were hurt. It seemed like it really wasn't something that they could do anything about. But then he's got a 5-place grid penalty, which he'll serve now in the race. But then there was qualifying. Ooh, baby, there was qualifying. Immediately, red flag. Hadjar's off the track. No, I destroys. I was hoping that he would do that. No, I destroys the car. It's the funniest thing ever. My brother and I quote it all the time. But he was okay, thankfully. He did, it was a pretty big one. It's not great to watch them live. But yeah, it was a pretty big crash. Thankfully, he didn't sustain any injuries from what we know, and will be racing. So that's nice, because the V carbs are looking strong. The Raisin Bulls, I don't know. Yeah, and there was some fun in Q1. Q2 was pretty much nothing from what I remember, but Q3, well, Max Verstappen sets a very fast pole lap. He's on provisional pole for a lot of it. Then his team send him out with 2 minutes to go to do an out lap and his flying lap, and he gets told, you have to push it, we are running behind schedule. Right before, like 10 seconds before he crosses the line, the session ends. So we're just watching, hoping that he can hold on to that pole. Well, my brother and I hoping he can hold on to that pole, watching every time come in, not going faster, not going faster. It was insane. I don't know if it was Red Bull's decision to send him out that long, like that late, or if it was his decision. Maybe it was a mixture of both. Listen, I'm not above criticizing my favorite team. I'm not above criticizing my favorite driver. For example, Spain. What he did, if he purposefully turned into Russell, was childish. If it was a lockup, which I don't think it was, okay, then that's not really his fault. But I do think he purposefully turned into him there, and it was childish. Funny, but childish. And it cost him, like, a lot of points that he could have had. But, no. He's number one for a reason. No. Yeah. Set a good qualifying. I don't love that Lando Norris is right behind him. I wish he would be down with Piastri in 6th. Although, Piastri being down in 6th, while not great, from my father's point of view, might actually help him, because all of the incidents thus far, like most of them, have been with his teammate. So maybe them starting pretty far, a bit apart, might help them. I don't know. I hope it doesn't, because I don't like the McLarens. I hope that it's a double Ferrari podium with Max winning. Charles Leclerc second, Lewis Hamilton third, to have their first Ferrari podiums. Well, first have their first double podium and have Lewis have his first proper podium. I mean, it'd be fun if one of them won. I'd prefer not. But, you know, they haven't really had a win this season. Technically they did with the sprint race, but as I said before, a lot of people don't think the sprint races count, which is true. Unless that they count for my goat getting more points in the championship. I could have sworn it was 15 for a win on the sprint races too, but I guess not. I don't know if they changed it or if I've just been delusional. I hoped it was 15. Doesn't matter anyway. Just points are points. But yeah, that was my thoughts on that whole sprint race and qualifying session. I'll do the full video on the race tomorrow, maybe with a special guest as well, so see you then. Bye!